Hey everybody, it's Dr. Chai back with you again. And I'd like to talk to you about one of the most common questions I get in practice, and that is, hey doc, how should I be sleeping at night? Well, I'll tell you what I tell everybody. With your eyes closed. Come on. But seriously, that is a very important question that I get, and it's very common as well. And if you think about it, if you're lucky enough to get 8 hours of sleep per night, that's 1/3 of your day that you're spending in bed. Even if you only get 6 hours, that's still 1/4 of your day and 1/4 of your life that you're spending sleeping. So you might as well do it correctly. And what I mean by that is that you need to maintain the natural curvature and the natural shape of the spine. So let's review that for a second. When you look at the spine from the back, as you are now, ideally it should be straight up and down like this. Now from the side, this guy would be facing like this, we'd like to see these natural curvatures to the spine. The neck should curve forward, the upper back out this way, and the lower back forward again. So when you're sleeping, that's the image you want to have in your mind. So the best position to sleep is actually on your back. And the best practice that you can get into is to use what's called a cervical roll or a neck roll. Looks like this, slips right under the base of your neck, and as you're laying over this, with your head just resting on the mattress, this will actually help to maintain that forward curve or even restore it if you're lacking it. So that's a great practice to get into. The other thing to keep in mind when you're on your back, if you have any trouble with your lumbar spine or your lower back, pile up a pillow underneath your knees or some blankets, or you can invest in what's called a knee elevator pillow. Looks like this from the side. Your knees just obviously lay right over this, and that will take some slack out of the, or put some slack into the muscles in your lower back and take some of the stress off of it. So that's sleeping on your back. The big thing that you want to keep in mind to avoid when you're on your back is to use a big, thick pillow underneath your head. If you do that, you can see what that does to the neck. That will kink the neck at the base, put pressure on those discs and nerves, so that's something you definitely want to avoid. Now the next best position is to sleep on your side. So again, if you envision the spine and you lay this down on the side, this is what you'd like to maintain. And what that means is to get a nice thick pillow here so you take up this gap between your head and your shoulder. And be careful, if it's too thick, your head's going to do this, and you can see what that does to your neck. Or if it's too thin, the opposite's going to happen. That's going to kink these nerves at the base of your neck. So it's kind of something you have to play around with and get the right fit for you. But that will take so much pressure off these nerves here in your cervical spine or your neck. The other thing to pay attention to on your side is to avoid laying like this in the fetal position. If you do that, you can see what that does to your neck. And imagine laying like that for 6 or 8 hours, day after day, and month after month. That will kill your neck. Now, if you're having lower back issues, again, when you're on your side, a great practice to get into is to put a pillow in between your knees. What that does is keep this top hip from rolling forward like this. You can see that as I rotate the pelvis, these bones are twisting, they're kinking those nerves there, they're putting pressure on the discs. So you can put a pillow in between your knees, and again, they make a great pillow. It looks like this from the side, slips right in between your legs, and this can actually roll with you from side to side, and that will save your lower back if you're sleeping on your side. I do not recommend sleeping on your stomach. When you do, that puts a lot of pressure on your lower back that will kink the discs there and put pressure on the nerves, but also, obviously, to breathe at night, you're going to turn your head to the side like this, and you can see what that does to your neck. It is just not a good thing to do. So if you're a stomach sleeper, try to get up on your side. At least start that way. You may end up on your stomach by morning, but the more you do it, the more accustomed you're going to get to sleeping on your side. Also, as you continue to get adjusted and we take pressure off that nerve system, it's going to be more comfortable for you to sleep in these positions. So keep those tips in mind, incorporate those, and you're going to be healthier for it. Thank you for your time.